Oh, okay. Okay, so here we are, 6:30, calling the meeting of the October 7th meeting of the board to order. Can we start with the roll call?
Tracy Dickey,
Here.
Peggy Jones Blanchard. Here. Sally Hurst Dickinson.
Here.
Eric Hansen.
Here.
Owen Harrington.
Here.
Julia Jones.
Here.
Lauren Martin. Here. Melissa Muzzy.
Here.
Jessica Wheeler Russell.
Here.
Laura Vincent.
Here.
Daniel York.
Here.
Okay, and we will have the Pledge of Allegiance. Nick?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, first is the minutes of the September 9th school board meeting. Any adjustments?
I do have some.
Okay.
I don't know if it's on. Okay, I think it is. All right, just a few things. In item number 5 under good news, I recommend changing as well as to also present was. In the, let's see, so that's still under good news, 1, 2, 3, fourth paragraph down, the one beginning Kenny Edwards. And this one is care of Nick Delanus. He has brought to me a corrected spelling of Christy Schofield's name. And so the correct spelling is Kristie Schofffield. Further down in that paragraph, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines from the bottom. The line beginning volleyball game took place last week. I would change the comma to a semicolon. Under committee reports, first line, the policy committee met on 8/12/24, change that to a period. Towards the end of that line, after IHEAB, add a comma and the word which. And under item 10, board chairperson's report, Tracy Brickey shared tomorrow's election day, and I would change that comma to a semicolon. That is it.
Thank you. Anybody else? I would entertain a motion to.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sorry, say aye. Yeah, good. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Lauren? Peggy? Are those the only 2 people who were not here? Okay, thank you. So now we come to the first public comments for items on the agenda. Anyone? Anyone? Okay, then. Next, closing that public comment. Next, finance report.
Sure. So in your packet, you'll find the financial report for October 2024. You'll see that we already have some overages in special ed and in site improvement, transportation, different areas that you typically would see this time of year. At the bottom of the overage report, you'll also see those pesky 2,900 salary transfers. We don't make those are the funds that come from the approved collective bargaining agreement get budgeted in function 2,900 and then you disperse them throughout the budget. That's something we usually get to around this time of the year. So those will clear. The monies are in 2,900.
Action is required. A motion? Anyone?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good news.
We have some folks, in addition to the good news in your digital packet, we have some folks here from Salisbury and Webster who are going to do a presentation for you. Nick, you want to hand over the mic, and Principal Wheeler will introduce her crew.
Good evening, and thank you for having us tonight. My name is Stephanie Wheeler. I'm principal of Salisbury and Webster Elementary, and we have Mrs. McWhinney with us here tonight, who is one of our the leaders of the student leadership team, and we have 5 members of our student leadership team, and they're going to talk to you tonight a little bit about what we've been doing between the 2 schools to get the kids to know more than just their small classes in Salisbury and Webster. So I'm going to hand it over to Eli to get started.
Hi, my name is Eli, and I'm a 5th grader in Webster. My name is Ella, and I'm a 5th grader in Salisbury.
My name is Gretchen. I am a 5th grader in Webster.
My name is Meredith, and I'm a 5th grader in Webster.
My name is Kaden, and I'm a 5th grader in Salisbury.
We are all members of our student leadership teams and set school's logo side by side together with pride. We are here representing 2 schools, but working on building one community.
Our 2 schools have many similarities, like 1 class each from kindergarten through 5th grade, and we also share many of the same teachers like Ms. McWhinney and even our principal, Ms. Pitt.
Like most schools, we have a lot of siblings in our 2 buildings. Something that might make us a little different is the number of cousins and extended family members that we have within our schools. For example, I am a 5th grader. My sister Abby is in 4th grade. My cousin Kenny is in 5th grade, and my cousin Jeffrey is in kindergarten. Another interesting fact is my dad went to Webster and my mom went to Salisbury. I'm also in 5th grade. My sister Sue is in 2nd grade, and my cousins Milo, Ellie, and Owen are in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grades. And my dad went to Webster too.
Because we are small schools and we usually have the same kids through our classes from kindergarten through 5th grade, it can feel scary to think about moving to middle school because it is so much bigger than Salisbury and Webster.
A few years back, to help us kids get to know more kids before we go off to middle school, our teachers started doing class visits between our 2 schools. For example, kids in grades 2 and 3 from Salisbury would go and spend the morning with kids in grades 2 and 3 at Webster.
Sometimes we would have a morning meeting and do some activities, snack and recess, and then go back to our house.
And sometimes we had outside groups visit all of us, like when the Telephone Museum and the McAuliffe Shepherd Discovery Center came to Salisbury for all of the kids from both schools in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grades.
Then our teachers started doing combined field trips for grade levels. While all field trips are fun, most of us especially enjoy our 2 trips to Boston Museum of Science. But even then, we never had much time to spend outside of our own school.
That's when our teachers started doing field trips that gave kids from both schools more time to mix and play, like going to the challenge course. And we are all really looking forward to our combined 5th grade trip to the Flume in Cannon Mountain in June. That is the last field trip we take before we leave SES and WES.
Our teachers are pretty awesome because then they started offering clubs to students from both schools. It started with our Girls on the Run team that had girls from both SES work together to transport the Salisbury girls to practice after 2 times every week.
After a few years with one team between the 2 schools, the Girls on the Run team got so big that we had to go back to having one team at Webster and one team at Salisbury. Gretchen, Ella, and I have all participated in Girls on the Run.
And all the running programs have continued to grow and now include boys too. Boys in 4th and grades from both Salisbury and Webster can participate in the Let Me Run program.
I didn't join Let Me Run last year, but I really want to this year. For the last 2 years, one really fun event we have is the practice 5K at West for both the Webster and Salisbury Girls on the Run teams and combined Webster and Salisbury Let Me Run team. All the teachers and families from both schools come to Webster to cheer on all the kids and staff that run.
Another activity for students in grades 3, 4, and 5 from both Salisbury and Webster is the drum club. We have a lot of help with the drum club, especially from Salisbury families who work together to transport the SES kids to Webster for our practices.
We had help from the town of Webster who let us use the stage at the town hall. Last year, the drum club performed several short skits based on folk tales. Eli, Ella, and I all participated in the drum. Miss Chafee offers a combined chorus club for students from Salisbury and Webster. Half of the year, chorus participates in Webster, and half of the year they participate in Salisbury. My sister Addie has been in chorus for 2 years.
Then our teachers started doing combined field trips for grade levels for both schools. While all field trips are fun, most of us, the WES and SES Summer Adventure Camp started 2 years ago in Webster and is open to all Salisbury and Webster kids going into grades 3, 4, and 5. Actually, Eli and I have participated in the Summer Adventure Camp.
We all wish we could do it again next summer, but we will be going to 6th grade. Over the 2 years of summer adventure camp, kids have been able to climb Mount Kearsarge,
Walk to the Blackwater Dam, take a field trip to the Franklin.
I'm the climbing one at the middle school, challenge by choice on the challenge course at the high school.
Show independence and plan the last day of camp and have local residents share their expertise.
Like Coyote Chris, aka Chris Chandler from the Webster Conservation Committee, David Kelly, Salisbury resident and a retired environmental scientist, a ranger, and a park ranger from the Army Corps of Engineers.
From our perspective as kids, all of these activities have given us lots of new opportunities.
Like getting to know other people and making new friends.
And not always being with just the kids in our class, but being with our friends in another school too.
And making connections with kids we don't get to see every day.
As you might have guessed, our story doesn't end here.
Student leaders from both Salisbury and Webster want to co-plan an activity or maybe even a combined project.
We want to co-run a virtual whole school meeting for both Webster and Salisbury.
We want to co-plan an activity around our upcoming holidays.
So stay tuned for the Salisbury and Webster student leadership teams. And on behalf of student leadership teams from both Salisbury and Webster, thank you for this opportunity.
Does anyone have any questions for us?
I guess I'll ask a question. So I'm curious, have you met anyone in your crossing over to the other school who's become a good friend as a result of some of these activities that you've done?
Well, when sometimes we'll go to schools and we'll get to hang out and some of us connect and we'll all be friends. And it's just something that, yeah.
So it's working.
Yeah, anybody else?
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was adorable. Okay, so next on the agenda is the policy committee. Policy committee met on, oh, gosh.
Wow,
Nick,
Tracy. Wow.
I know.
Well,
Jeez.
that's going to be hard to follow up, first of all. But I do have a good list of news regarding stuff at the elementary school, middle school, and high school this month. So tomorrow there will be a college fair at the high school. This is a great opportunity for students to connect with colleges, universities, and other job opportunities. This Wednesday, juniors and certain sophomores will be taking the PSAT. Yuck. So this will be an important role in preparing students for the SAT, which will be in the springtime. Loudon Elementary School has been making the commute to school very fun recently. They have recently held a walk and roll to school day where students ride bikes and walk to school. They've also hosted the LDS Bike Bus. This encourages students to ride their bike to school with help from teachers and community partners like the Loudon Police Department. A bike bus is a convoy of parents and children who ride to school, picking up kids along the way. So sounds like a lot of fun there. Field trips have begun. The Pennacook Elementary School kindergarten recently went on a trip to the apple orchard. I always remember in elementary school going to the apple orchard and kind of like acting like a tree, you know? So we learned all about trees. So that was fun. I know the kindergarten group had a fun time with that. The Pennacook Elementary School hosts their annual Harvest Fest on Saturday, October 19th. This is a great event for kids in Pennacook. On Thursday, September 19th, the Merrimack Valley Middle School volleyball team won their program's first volleyball match in its history. Volleyball is a new sport at MVMS this year and has already become very popular. There's also a first-year varsity program here for volleyball as well. I found this very interesting. Mrs. King, a math teacher at the middle school, her classes are participating in Adopt a Calf program. They are adopting an actual live calf growing up on a dairy farm. Farmers use math and science every day, so they're going to use that to have some fun in math class. Also, we have some fall sports senior nights coming up at the high school. Make sure to write these down. Volleyball will be this Wednesday, October 9th at 5:45 p.m. Field hockey Tuesday, October 15th at 3:45 p.m. Cross country boys and girls will be Thursday, October 17th at 3:45 p.m. prior to the Capital Area Cross Country meet. Boys soccer Friday, October 18th at 5:45 p.m. Girls soccer Tuesday, October 22nd at 5:45 p.m. And golf, Fall Spirit, marching band, and football will all host their senior nights Friday, November 1st, 6 p.m. prior to the football game, so the day after Halloween. Nice. So, I have some jokes here today. The first one. Why can't football players wear glasses on the field? Because it's a contact sport. And what lights up a soccer stadium? A soccer match. And that's all I have.
Thanks. Thanks. When is the can you just, I didn't write down the capital area cross country meet. When is that?
That is Thursday, October 17th at 3:45 p.m.
Thank you. Thank you, and I'm sorry that I overlooked you at first.
No problem.
So next, committee reports. The policy committee met on September 16th and today, right before our public hearing. Catherine will report. Minutes of the 9:16 are in the packet, and policies EFDA, IGE, JICL-R are in the packet for a second read.
Yep. So we have those three policies for a second read. We also, from our meeting on 16th, have policy IHBH, which is Extended Learning Opportunities for First Read tonight. We did meet tonight as well, and we looked at the policies ACAA, ACAB, and JIE. Those policies we'll be bringing to you in November. We felt we needed time to look at those. So for tonight, we would definitely like to find out if there's any questions or comments about the 3 policies that are in the packet for a second read, because we have like a motion on those to accept them if there are no questions or concerns or anything that we need to change.
EFDA is school meal payment. IGE, parental objection to specific course material. And JICLR is technology responsible use agreement for students. Any changes? Any?
IHBH is, that's just tonight. That's
Tonight is a first
That's a
read.
first read.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
There's no action needed on that one.
I can entertain a motion for all 3. Okay, who? Laura, thank you.
And like I said, we'll have the other 3 policies for you for first read in November.
All those in favor of the 3 policies? Any opposed? Excellent. Okey-dokey. Long Range Planning Committee met 9/16 also. So Randy, the minutes are in.
Yeah, so I'll just give you a quick rundown to add to what you see in the packet. We talked about review previous goals and establish goals for this school year, and you'll notice some that look very similar to the SAU goals that the board set. But I think there's a reason for that, and we've really focused on internships and job shadows as a potential area of focus to help grow the business partnerships, as we felt that's a piece. We've talked about this, really, you've seen this transitions. We had a number of years we had STEAM was our big focus. Notice that's dropped off. We're really talking about transitions, promotion, and community engagement of MVSD, and then business partnerships. And the Salisbury Webster crew did a beautiful job of highlighting that first goal that I mentioned, that's transitions, because there were one of the things we said is we can't wait till 5th grade to try to get them together. So this leadership team doing that over the summer, and Mr. Bueller and her crew have done a real nice job of looking for opportunities to bring them together. And that's just, we don't have to wait for those transition years to be talking about transitions. So the committee felt that those were solid goals to move forward. So send that to all of you to be accepted by the board. And I'll repeat those again. The goals are transitions, and then promotion and community engagement of the Merrimack Valley School District, and business partnerships. We want a motion.
Oh, okay. So can I have a motion to, those are the goals? Dan?
Yep.
Eric? Thank you. All those in favor of those goals, say aye. Excellent. Eric. Yep. Okay, new business,
You can follow up if you have a policy.
okay, so, sorry, we'll do a policy committee.
Yeah, policy committee would like to meet on November 4th at 5:30 for the school board meeting. I don't know if any of the other committees needed that time slot, so we wanted to check.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do finance soon.
Thank you.
So November 4th at 5:30?
Yes, right before.
I'm wondering, should we set a curriculum?
So, finance committee, October
28th.
28th. at 5:30,
Sure. 30, 5:30.
5?
It is a Monday.
It's a Monday.
At 5.
Does 5 work?
4:30.
4:30 doesn't work great for me, but but pretty soon it will work great for me because I'll be retired as of November 15th. So pretty soon I'll be able to do it whenever you want.
Tracy will know.
Yes, I know. So can we do 5 o'clock? Is that all right?
But I might have to just skirt out early.
Okay, thank you.
I'll be efficient.
Okay, thank you. October 28th at 5 o'clock.
So do you want to do?
So
This is for curriculum. committee?
curriculum, October 28th and at 6.
And just a reminder, policy will be here in the library.
Okay. So the new business, so the resolutions for the New Hampshire School Boards Association Delegate Assembly, which is Saturday, October 19th, which is, by the way, the reason I'm retiring, because October 19th, I'll be 65. So, so you can think of me that day. So the resolutions are in there. Did anybody have anything that they wanted to talk to Melissa about, as Melissa and Jess are our representatives for the assembly? And if you haven't had a chance to look at them yet, you might take a look at them, and you can certainly get in touch with either one of them.
We would like the board to at least give us some direction on whether or not they would like us to vote in alignment with the School Board Association's recommendations, or if there was anything that was different or jumping out, because we are representing the board.
Anything? So, should we? Do you want to, you want just to, I don't know that we need to have a motion, maybe just a straw poll. Do you think that most people would like to vote in favor of the school board's response?
I think we made a motion last
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Because there was.
Uh-huh,
And the School Board Association weigh in on it.
uh-huh.
So we made a motion, one, to respond to the School Board Association's recommendations, ones that we did make recommendations for, and then we had to outline it that we were allowed to.
Uh-huh.
Flexibility in.
But if no one has a problem with any of them, you can just direct Melissa to vote in accordance with the NHSBA resolutions as they.
So moved.
Anyone second?
I'll second.
Jess? Okay. So we will, our motion is to direct Melissa or Jess, if Melissa is incapacitated, to vote in accordance with how the New Hampshire School Boards Association has recommended. So all those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okey dokey pokey. So next, meal prices.
So we would request that we table this again until next month, just to give us another month of sales, just to
Okay.
review. So we want to make sure we're doing right.
Thank you very much. Yes. Next would be action from the public hearing. So I would entertain a motion that hold please. Where did I write the amounts? I don't know. Oh, I wrote them right here. So right in front of my face. So the motion will be to spend $503,153 from the special ed expendable trust
Sorry.
and, oh,
1,300,
5,000,
152.
oh, sorry, I had 153. $503,152 from the special ed expendable trust fund and $572,634 from the maintenance expendable trust. I would entertain a motion for that. Second,
I'll second.
discussion?
I have questions.
Okay.
Sorry. I'll
No,
keep this as
good.
brief as possible. I was hoping Mr. Regan could speak a little bit to the capital improvement plan. I'm looking at the 24-25 year, and obviously it's it's a large amount, and I was hoping you could speak to a little bit of the campus items that are on here. Just kind of like a general overview of the projects you're thinking.
Give me a minute, please.
Just yell, Fred.
Well, Fred's pulling up the CIP. You'll notice all of the CIP for any length of time, it really becomes very fluid. So as Fred is looking at what the budget might be and what we can move and what we can take care of, within the budget, though a lot of those things will move. Sometimes, when we've been going through that, there are some years that we're like, well, there's no way this is happening. So that's one of the reasons that we'll try to build up those expendable trusts again. Because if you look over, stretch out to 10 years now in the CIP, if you look at that end total, holy cow. But that's kind of like, if every, in a perfect world, getting all of those done. So that becomes fluid. In fact, Fred uses that as, something that he looks and says, I'm going to push this off till next year, or we save some money here, so maybe we can do one of those projects. So
Yeah, which has been my experience
Yeah.
in the past.
You'll be needing to
left you.
stand up, Gail.
Compensated for this. You're talking about this year?
Yeah. The Cliff Notes is fine.
Yeah, just let me find them here on my small
Sorry, I put you
computer.
on the spot.
Thank you. Do you have that? Do you have that
I'm
on you?
looking at the.
I apologize. Okay, can you go to the district website and pick that one up? Facilities. That's the old one. So I will say why help looking for that this year. I was just saying, the list doesn't end. We have over 500,000 square feet. We have 8 schools, half a dozen or 10 other buildings, athletics, the NHIAA basically, for all intents and purposes, removed the dates when sports can be played now, practice-wise. It seems like school gets over and they're right into it, all sports. So this year we replaced the track, which is something that's been on the CIP for a long time. It finally happened. $550,000, give or take $1. We replaced the Pennacook Elementary School roof. That was $359,000. And could you go to the campus? That is the campus. Okay, so replace track surface, add sidewalk from high school gate to middle school front gate. You guys are all familiar with the new intersection that we have out here. That was part of the 2014 Safe Routes to School grant, the travel plan. The city called me up and said, are you doing anything with Safe Routes this year? Because we have $40,000 to put towards the Allen Street intersection, if you will. Additional parking spaces for parents to pick up the kids. Hopefully some of you guys are taking advantage of that. And a crosswalk, sidewalk connecting Community Drive and High Street. I didn't get to the sidewalk, which is basically out front here by the high school gate down to the middle school gate. And by doing that, kids will get on that sidewalk behind the middle school gate and be able to come up to this intersection and basically go anywhere. Eventually, there'll be one on the backside as well. So if you go towards Manor or head south. So I didn't get that done. Go back, yeah, roll that up there so I can see. Next year, we plan to replace 2 scoreboards. I can say right now that one, we replaced the game scoreboard this year. Let's see. Again, high school gate to the back gate. One of those will get done. Only the front one first. Next year, a new mixer for the game field sound system. 2627, a fence in the maintenance barn area back here by the concession stand, the game field. There's just kids everywhere back there. We need to fence that area in so kids don't get into trouble or get hurt. And then we need to put in basically the same thing to the field hockey field that we did to the track field a couple, 3 years ago. They take it all up, they grind it all up, they put it back down, they add more loam, and then they put sod down. It's going to be about $155,000. Game field, as far as sod, we just replaced it. We need to basically lacrosse, 3 spots for lacrosse. Last time we did anything with 50 wide, the length of the field. So that's expensive. We take care of it. What other questions? Sorry, who's that from?
That was me. I was just more looking for, like, I appreciate it. I was looking for an overview of kind of the idea of what campus was. And that's helpful. It sounds like, I mean, I've heard a lot of these things getting shipped around for years. So some of these things are probably getting to the point where they need to be done, correct?
We need to concentrate on roofs, not full roofs. In 1999. And the new part of the building code is that you have to also do the structural part to make sure that roof will stand up and restore it. So it's just not putting the membrane down, it's steel work. Anybody in particular, this young lady up here, I can't remember his name, she teaches in Loudon in the 2001 kindergarten edition behind the library. We put the air handling unit up there. We had to all that, which I imagine is going to have to happen here, but it will have to be engineered. The school's been here since 1966, never had a problem with snow load. So talk to the people in the house, would you? So it's kind of not necessary, but, and we take care of our roofs. We shovel them off when they fail to meet the weight test put out by the state fire marshal. So I don't know if there's any other questions while I'm up here.
Anything going on there?
Randy and I have been meeting with engineers. There's a lot of different pieces to it. I think that I have to talk to Randy either November or December. We'll be ready to make a presentation to the facilities committee. Hopefully in November to the facility committee and then to the full board. I would say in December, I'm thinking. We meet with them, I believe, again this Thursday or Wednesday, one or the other. And again, there's a lot of pieces to it. What we're trying to do is renovate Washington Street with as little impact to taxpayers as possible. I think we're making some progress. It'll be interesting to see what the final numbers look like. That's all I want to say about that now until they come and make the presentation to the facilities committee, which is open to the public. Anyone else?
I'm good.
Okay, any other questions, comments before we vote on motion to expend from both expendable trust, to spend, excuse me, from both expendable trusts?
Tracy,
Yes,
what would the second one be used for?
the first one is for special ed, the second,
That one. What would the fund be used for?
So those would mostly cover overages that that are to heavy hitters or transportation and tuition out of district.
So that's money that's already spent that you're trying to replenish. Is that what you're saying?
It's to offset the overages, yes.
any other questions, comments?
Yeah, I just have one quick question. It's really volatile. I don't, and from what I heard, it sounds like there's only 30,000 left in that. How do we do that?
Well, certainly you can, 2 warrant articles that you can expect to see in March are going to be, hopefully, I'll throw out some numbers, 500,000 back into the maintenance expendable trust and 500,000 into the special ed expendable trust. We have a new person at the SAU level who is going through special ed practices and what we're doing with a microscope to really try to see how we can maximize our program use here. But I think, that's a great point. I think we're going to see that special ed expendable trust year after year, even though we take some years off occasionally from the MET. I don't foresee us, even just looking at transportation alone, I don't foresee us not trying to put money into that expendable trust. And I think even when we're budgeting in October, I said at the beginning that we're budgeting for what we know. I think we're going to have to add to those numbers for exactly what you said.
Yes, Julia?
Is there a way to vote on one and not the other? I feel like for Fred's request, I feel like he mentioned a lot of things, and obviously everything he mentioned is not going to be covered by that. So I guess
the ones that
he
he's talking
listed,
about future
right, but he
projects.
listed a lot of future projects, and that's not going to.
I think I can speak to that. So those are future projects that will happen not just in one fiscal year. They will happen, 1 or 2 of those projects will happen next year. Another 1 or 2 will happen the following. And as we go through, we'll try to do most of those projects out of the operating budget if we have those funds. If not, we would visit the MET again after we've replenished that out of from a warrant article.
I just want to add a couple of things. One thing I would encourage you all to go on the website underneath departments, facilities, and look at the new CIP. I haven't spread that out to 10 years now. It's always fun. The town of Boston asked me to spread it out to 10. It is a fluid document. Please make sure you understand that, because there could be 10 more things on it on Friday that aren't on it today. As things come up, as we go through different inventories, things get added to it. I know it's a lot of money, but we are a pretty good sized district. Every district has doors, windows, roofs, heating systems, and more heating systems. We're always trying to improve it so the kids get more fresh air. They get enough by standards, but we try to do 100% fresh air. We try to put energy recovery units on the roofs, so the air leaving preheats the cold air coming in, so we only have to heat that. Air going into the classroom, say 25 degrees instead of 65 degrees. What I read there was just the campus. Obviously, we have about 15 more pages in there, 15 divisions. I would encourage you to please read that. Out of my operating budget, we have a building improvement, which I think is $275,000. And we have a site improvement, which I believe is $175,000. I use that first, or along with the maintenance trust, to take care of the CIP projects. So
October 28th.
That's what that's for. We increased that in the last couple of years. We boosted up like 50,000 each. It's just every year there's going to be, there's air handling units. There's 28 air handling units on this building alone. We have like 78 district-wide. 78, at least 78 motors. God knows how many belts. It's ongoing. Just imagine if you replace your furnace every winter. It's not good. Every time I think my head's above air, above the water, bang, there's something else. So we're not wasting any of your money here. We're using it pretty good. So read that stuff. If you have questions, call me at the SAU office, and we'll be glad to answer them. Thank you, Nick.
So I just have a question.
Yes.
Because it's so fluid and there's prices and lots of fluctuations. The money that's not spent, does it go back into that fund?
It stays in that fund.
It stays in that fund.
Yep.
So the money that isn't, so we're approving the 500,000 tonight, possibly. And if that's not spent, it will just stay where it was.
Yes.
Same with special ed.
Yes.
Are they voted on separately, or is it one?
It's up to you guys. I mean, we can vote on them separately.
You can propose an amendment to separate it out, because currently it's
Yeah, because it's a motion on the
The
floor.
motion, that's
on the
right,
floor
there
is
is.
both. So if you propose an amendment to separate out.
We have to vote on the amendment first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you proposing an amendment
Yes.
to separate them? Thank you, Julia. Is there anybody who will second that?
It would have to be, you either have to vote on that one and if it voted
Right.
down, or.
Well, that's what I was going to do. Yeah.
You'd have to make an amendment. The person who made it
Made the motion.
would have to accept it. If they don't accept it, then you have to vote on the motion.
Oh, okay. So, but I need a second on the amendment.
No, she has to ask. the
Oh,
person
okay.
who made the motion.
Will you accept the amendment?
I will accept the amendment for.
Thank you. Now I need a second on the amendment. Yes.
Once they accepted it, so it'll be.
Oh, okay.
There'll be two separate motions now.
Okay.
And just whoever seconded would agree to the separation. Who?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Okay, what do I do?
You're Say-
on the
say
separation
yes.
of the two.
Oh, yes, yes, okay, yeah.
Okay. So there are two separate motions. Yes, now there are two separate motions. So the first one we'll vote on is the special ed expendable trust, which is to release $503,152 from the special ed expendable trust. Oh, hold on. Hold on 1 second, because Julia's asked first and then you can. Okay.
Is there a way to amend the number, or is it?
These are to offset overages. So
I agree with what Owen said. It's a lot.
It is, and that's why I'm asking for a clarification of what Hillary had said. This is money already spent.
I just have another question.
Okay.
So what I hear you say is you're planning two separate warrant. Do you have a plan if those warrant articles don't go through?
Well, it's just money that doesn't go into the expendable trust. So they would stay as they are. So there'll be, about 572,000 still in the maintenance expendable trust, provided you vote for this, and then the 30,000 or so. But we do that every year. We've been generally putting money into the at least the maintenance expendable trust. But I think, as I said,
Right, there's 150,000 for this year, right?
I don't recall what it was in March, but yeah.
Usually we put in money that it's that February budget.
Correct. Yeah, it's on the unexpended fund balance at the end. If there is no fund balance, even if the warrant article said put $1 million in, if there isn't $1 million left, that money does not go in. So it would be up to whatever the amount is in the warrant article.
I just have a follow-up. So if the warrant article doesn't pass, and this is money right now, we're taking money out to pay for stuff we've already paid for. What happens next year if this doesn't pass? We spend or overspend 500,000 again without, because we have a budget.
Mhm.
So we're spending more than the budget, and we spent it before we have approval to take it out of the expendable trust. Next year, we won't have that in the special ed expendable trust if we do this.
Right.
What do we do?
So I don't know if you want to speak to it. So that's one of the reasons that we try not to tap into the expendable trust, but and that's also one of the reasons when I mentioned having Julie on board, really digging into the special ed costs and are there ways that we can provide some of that programming, because every person that we can, pull back from or prevent from having to do an out of district placement. So we're looking at our existing programming, so to really dig into to some of those costs and doing that now as opposed to having to be reactive. So we're hoping that by really maximizing what we have here in the district, that we can control those costs better than we have in the past. Having somebody that their, main focus, and I can tell you that, the work already that Julie has done has been tremendous, digging into programming and IEPs and written down to the minute sort of looking at that program. So I'm very optimistic about that moving forward.
Sally?
So I'm trying to figure out if I have questions. What happens if we don't approve the monies that we've already spent? And we can, so I guess that's a question on its own. And then I'm assuming that we will have similar issues next year, right? In terms of, I know that special ed has always been, we've always been challenged by the cost of the services that we need to provide. If we can't pay for what we need to provide, then what happens to us as a district?
So let's, jump forward and, we're in a situation that, you and Lauren have both spoken to. We would have to go back to the taxpayers and vote to, or have a special meeting to raise and appropriate additional monies to cover that. So if that were to happen, again, next year, obviously we still have money in the maintenance expendable trust, but Fred's holding off on some projects that he'd like to do. You can tell he's very, takes a lot of pride, and he should, in what he does here in the district. And if you look at that CIP over a 10-year period, there's $10.5 million, and he stopped on the last 3 or 4 years. So if Fred won Mega Millions, he would do all of them starting right now and get those projects done. So that, I think that's the short answer, is that money would have to be raised and appropriated at that time.
another set of possibilities, do they include not providing services and deferring maintenance and deferring maintenance and deferring maintenance to the point where we might have a bigger problem and with a higher price tag?
Yeah, one of the reasons that we're trying to, you've been on the board long enough, we haven't taken money from the expendable trust, and that's, we have it there for when we really need to take that money, so that we don't have to have a drop in services provide. And luckily, with some of the ESSER money, Fred was able to get a jump on some of those things that might be issues. But again, to go back to Fred's passion, there's no way he's going to let something be, inferior where it's a safety hazard or anything else. It would be a matter of finding a way. So we're, looking for ways that we can cut things that don't have that sort of impact. That would be the wrong direction to go. To, if it involves safety and it involves kids, then, to me, that's a non-starter.
I just want to make one more comment. I guess I have some concern that it's only October and we already have overtures, and we'll have to take this amount of money out of these trusts.
So the overtures also include projections through the end of the year. So those encumbered funds. So that's planning out the entire year. So a lot of those won't change. I do that at the beginning of the year, so we know where we stand and we can look at the other accounts that we have available funds in. So that's why you see those, if that helps. We try to be proactive there, so we know what we've got. We know what we got in front of us.
Any other discussion? Okay, then. So the first one will be the motion to approve the $503,152 from the Special Ed Expendable Trust. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okie dokie. The next is to expend the $572,634 from the Maintenance Expendable Trust. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Thank you. So they both passed. Thank you very much. And personnel update is next. Okay, dokie. Thanks. Next on the agenda is the manifest and journal entries, and Melissa and I have signed them both electronically, and I'm sure that you all perused them, and I would entertain a motion for approval of those, please. Thank you, Dan. Anyone?
Second.
Julia, second. Thank you very much. All those in favor of the manifest and journal entry from your electronic, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
I have an abstention.
Okay.
I did not.
You didn't peruse them? Seriously? Usually that's Julia.
She's on record.
Assistant Super's report. Oh, wait, he says I missed something. Oh, board chairperson report. It's not on my list. But anyway, the board chairperson's report. I will just say the exact same thing that I said last time. Oh, please get out and vote. November 5th is really, really, really important. What do I need to add? Oh, I did, didn't I? I received an email from a board member today. It was really disturbing. I tried to put it out of my mind. Let me tell you what it said. One of our board members. It said, "Hello, Tracy. I wanted to let you know I was planning on resigning from the Merrimack Valley School Board following the meeting. I'm doing so as I accepted a coaching position with the B basketball team at MVMS. Owen Harrington. So it was very upsetting, but I let him know how much we appreciated everything that he has done for us.
I don't want to hijack your report or anything. However, in light of Owen's resignation, at the November meeting, we'll present the path forward for replacing that seat. That will just go through the rest of this current term. The person must be from the town of Bosquen. But we'll lay out the process at the November board meeting for you, and then we'll hope to have things in place for to nominate that person to the board after we have the process outlined at the December board meeting, which really only gives them a very short term, just January, February, because then they'd get 1 month in before they have to do the sign up period if they decided they wanted to run in March. So if you folks in Bosquen that you'd like, again, we'll outline that process in November. But essentially, some of the broad strokes would be some sort of letter of intent or a letter of interest that will go to Tracy, but we'll outline that whole process. But in the meantime, you can certainly be reaching out to folks from the town of Bosquen that you think would be good board members.
Yes.
Are there any committees that need representation from Bosquen the other that would need to fill in?
The person would fill in, just take his so that we don't disrupt the others, because we'd only have those couple of meetings, and then thank you, the reorganization meetings in March anyway. So yeah, right, and that's only finance, and Lauren's on finance for Bosquen, so we're set as far as having that. Thank you.
So, assistant super report.
Thank you. So I almost hesitate to say this, but the school year's off to a very positive start. We're a superstitious bunch here, but things are going well in all of our buildings. And Randy and I have had an opportunity to visit all the schools around the district and participate in some of the special activities that have happened. Most recently, a couple of walk to school events, and I hope to be joining the bike bus that Nick mentioned later this week. If not this week, I will it later this month. This past month has also presented a number of opportunities for professional growth, including attending our monthly regional and state superintendent association meetings, grant workshops, the unconference. Tomorrow, our admin team is participating in a virtual training with Drummond Woodsum. Learn more about the legislative impact on the work that we do. And then actually on Wednesday of this week, we'll be at another law conference as well. So lots to learn always. And a curriculum highlight that I wanted to share includes our focus on ELA instruction here at the elementary level. We're in our first year of implementing a new ELA resource, which is Science of Reading Aligned. Our 7th grade team is piloting a writing resource, Think SRSD, and it's also being utilized in several of our high school programs. So very excited about our work in that particular area. Thank you.
Randy?
First of all, I'd like to thank all of the families that have been so helpful and understanding with our current bus situation that kind of imploded today. We've been very short on drivers. We've had calls out to get drivers. We're doing some cohorts where we have teachers and paraprofessionals that are interested in getting their licenses, but we are very much right on, when one person calls in, we figure it out. When 2 people call in, it's tough. So we've had to do some things that we didn't want to do, and I was starting last night. We're combining buses, canceling buses. Catherine and I, she said we were getting around the district. What she didn't mention is that we were getting around the district, dropping kids off at home this afternoon. We grabbed the van and made a run to some of the Loudon kids in a bus as we're trying to figure it out. So when I say it's all hands on deck, I mean it. We're doing what we can. with that, we, even, to kind of push our way over to March, or, hopefully by then we'll have a new support staff agreement that will be ratified by both the board and the support staff group, and hopefully some of those increases can get us more drivers, as well as some paraprofessionals, because those are two areas. And when I say that we're looking for everyone, we have board members, fathers, we hear a retired trucker, and we're like, hey, how about driving a bus? And we have those cohorts of teachers are starting up soon. We have some administrators. Sam York, the high school principal, was driving today. So we have, we really are, trying to get things done. So we thank, all those folks that were so understanding and as we go through that. So, and quick hello, I'm sure everyone's watching at home, to my new Loudon friends, that I appreciated the song, the jokes, and getting to meet you in the company as we're going down 129 and Beehole Road. And hi. And that's about it. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I think that I misspoke. I said, get out and vote. Did I say November 4th? Oh, okay, good. Because it is November 5th. And I was hoping I said that. Okay. So public comment. Crickets. Okay, so I'll close public comment, and we do have to go into non-public under RSA 91-A:3 II, A and C. Then there will be a brief non-meeting after the non-public session prior to returning to public session for a negotiations update. So if you want to go wait out in the hallway, we'll call you back in, unless you want to go home. So we'll need a roll call to go into non-public.